My dad forced my grandparents to treat my step-siblings like family, and now that they're gone, my step-siblings are furious they weren't included in the inheritance. When I refused to defend them, my parents called me selfish. When I 17 female was 7 and my brother 19 male was 9, our dad remarried. My stepmother had 2 kids of her own, who were toddlers at the time, just 2 and 4 years old. Our situation was complicated from the start. My brother and I had already been through the unimaginable. Our mom had passed away just 19 months before dad got remarried. To make things more tragic, my stepmother's husband, the father of her 2 kids, had also died while she was pregnant with their youngest. Our world had already been flipped upside down by grief, but what came next added a whole new layer of tension. The only family my brother and I had left was on our mom's side, our maternal grandparents. But when dad remarried, he insisted that if my grandparents wanted to see us, they had to include my step-siblings too. There weren't any legal rights for grandparents back then, so they reluctantly agreed, but they made one thing crystal clear. They were only doing it because they loved us, and didn't want to lose contact. From the start, my step-siblings were never really family to my grandparents. They were treated politely, but they were never loved the same way. To my grandparents, including my step-siblings was simply a condition they had to follow to spend time with me and my brother, not because they saw my step-siblings as additional grandchildren. As time went on, my step-siblings grew really attached to my grandparents, oblivious to the fact that the feelings weren't mutual. My grandparents were kind but distant, and no matter how much time passed, that never changed. It wasn't just them either. None of our extended family on my mom's side ever treated my step-siblings like family. They were included but never loved or wanted. And that's where the cracks in this whole setup really began to show. In 2020, our grandpa passed away. Due to the pandemic, his funeral was held over Zoom. Fast forward to a month ago, and our grandma passed too. Her funeral was in person, and things came to a head in the worst possible way.